What is female athlete triad? This is a very, very, very common thing that is happening to tons of girls and women all across the world. When you hear the word triad, obviously that means three. So there's three major things that are involved that make up this triad. Number one, it's energy deficiency, okay? Now, when you hear that word, a lot of people just think, oh, you're not eating enough calories, which that is the bulk of most people. Like, that's what most people make up with this. But it can also mean that you could be eating enough calories, but you're exercising too much. Like, you're getting in calories, like you're eating like thousands and thousands of calories, but you're exercising and you're burning off way too much for your body. So in turn, there's a deficiency. Or it could also be that you are exercising a lot and you're not eating enough. So then there's another deficiency as well. The second part of this is that you're having menstrual issues. So you've lost your period, your periods are irregular, your hormones are all over the place. Like, it's just, you're having menstrual irregularity problems. The third thing is that you would experience bone loss, osteopenia, or osteoporosis. Three things that make up the triad is energy deficiency, is menstrual disturbances, and the last thing is bone loss, okay? Now, why am I bringing this up? Because this is a huge, huge, huge issue that is going totally unnoticed by girls, coaches, doctors, everybody. And girls are having issues right and left with stress fractures, with pain in their legs, or their hip, or their back, or their arms, or wherever. And they're just writing it off as just being tired or sore muscles or whatever. But you go get an MRI and you find out that you have a stress fracture. Or you find out that your leg is broken, or you're prone to injury just way, way more than anybody else. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's this huge commonality out there for doctors, coaches, and just girls like in general that are saying, oh, well, my doctor said it was normal, or my coach said it's normal. Everyone on my basketball team, or everyone on my soccer team, or everyone on my cross country team, like we don't have periods, you know, like they just stopped. And my coach said it's normal and it'll come back later. Like, this is not normal, okay? Just because something might be common doesn't mean that it's healthy or normal. Cancer is something that is very common today. Does that mean that it's normal and healthy? No. So you want to go with what is healthy, not so much about what is common, what's normal for this group of people, whatever. You have to put your health first. I want to go through this and talk about what actually is going on when you are suffering from female athlete triad, because a lot of girls aren't getting their period and they're just writing it off and they're like, oh, I don't care, like I'm gonna keep exercising, or oh, whatever, it'll come back one day. Like, no, it's not just gonna magically appear. You have to take proactive steps. First, let's talk about osteoporosis, okay? And this is what happens after you would get osteopenia. So you can go and get a bone density scan or a DEXA scan, and they will tell you what your level is for as far as your bone mineral density is. And if they tell you have osteopenia, that's basically the precursor to osteoporosis, which is what you hear about 80-year-old women having, and a lot of teenage girls are getting this in their teens. So I want to read this, and I'm going to link all of the studies and stuff below that you can go check out. It says osteoporosis refers to low bone mass and fragility of the skeleton. Low estrogen levels and other hormonal changes which accompany irregular or absent menstrual periods may predispose females to osteoporosis, especially in their teens and 20s when bone mass is accumulating. So this is huge. During your teens and 20s is when you're building the most bone mass. So if your estrogen is really low, and most girls who don't have their period, you don't have like any estrogen floating around. You need to build back up that estrogen. So when it's super low, you're more predisposed to having osteoporosis. A 20-year-old woman without menses during her critical teenage growth period may have bone mass typical of a 70-year-old woman, predisposing her to stress fractures and fractures later in life. Adequate nutrition fosters good bone formation. Calcium requirements for teenage girls and young women with normal menses is 1,200 milligrams per day. Females with irregular or absent menses require 1,500 milligrams of calcium and 400 milligrams of vitamin D per day. So I just want to hone in on this. Girls in their teenage years have the same bone density as women who are in their 70s. This is very scary, okay? Not to mention it's saying that The critical years, your critical teenage years, is the years that you want to be eating a ton of food and growing. That is when your body is growing. This is the last time that you want to be taking in like 1,000 calories a day and doing all types of workout routines. Like, this is slowly killing people. So you have to eat a ton of food, and namely, this is talking about calcium and being sure you get vitamin D. Right off the bat, people think, well, you can't get calcium on a plant-based diet, right? Because plant-based is what I recommend. Well, it's interesting because you can get calcium, plenty of calcium on a plant-based diet. And the funny thing is that 1 cup of cow's milk has the same amount of calcium as 3/4 cup of collard greens, okay? So you're going to get plenty of calcium. You just have to be a little bit more creative. There were also some studies that were done that said that diets high in animal protein actually increase the loss of calcium that came out in your urine. The reason for this is because animal products are very, very acidic. So switching to a plant-based diet will do wonders for your bone health, because you're taking out those acidic things that you're putting in your body. So if you can switch it for plants, and I'm not saying you have to eat fruits and vegetables. You can just eat tons of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, avocados, plant fortified milks, and whatever you want. Just stay away from the animal products. But then at the same time, there were other studies that found that higher protein actually helped calcium absorption and increased bone density, which again, you can get plenty of protein from a plant-based diet, from beans, lentils, greens, whole grains, etc. So, number 1, I encourage you to cut out animal products. This doesn't mean you have to go be anorexic and never eat anything. No, you can eat tons of vegan foods. Go to my Instagram account and look at all the different types of food I eat. I eat pizza, sushi, cake, pasta, like whatever you want, basically. In some studies, it found that protein was needed for the absorption. So be sure that you're keeping your diet very well-rounded. Eat some beans, eat some whole grains. Like, it's not going to kill you. It's going to be good for you. As far as calcium is concerned, where can you get that from? Almond milk or orange juice they have that is fortified with calcium, which is totally fine in my opinion. Green leafy vegetables. So what I would do with this, I wouldn't just sit there and eat a huge salad. Since you're trying to get a lot of calories in at the same time, I would make a smoothie and put in a ton of super sweet, dense fruits like bananas, dates, dried fruits, whatever. Add some coconut sugar and put your leafy greens in that too, so it's not taking up so much room in your stomach. You're still able to get in the greens, but you're like getting a whole lot of calories from that smoothie. Also, 2 tablespoons of blackstrap molasses gives you 400 milligrams of your daily needs for calcium. Not to mention a cup of collard greens, you get 357. Also beans, almonds, broccoli, there you go. For vitamin D, get outside in the sunlight. Get over at least 50% of your body exposed to the sunlight between the hours of 10 and 2. Don't let yourself burn, go in little spurts if you have to, but getting sunlight is huge. And if you feel like you need a supplement, research and get a really good vitamin D supplement. I wanted to finish reading a little bit more about the importance of this, because this is scary and this is serious. So it says the greatest accretion of bone mass happens during puberty. So all you teenage girls out there, please listen up. Maximal increases in bone mass accrual occur between the ages of 11 and 14 in girls. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of the girls that I work with are in this age group, and you have to take care of this right now. Menarche is a signal of bone mass growth, and 25% of bone mass accrual occurs in the 2 years that surround menarche. Generally, healthy women achieve 92% of their total bone mineral content by 18 years of age, and approximately 99% by the age of 26 years. Bone loss usually occurs later with menopause and aging. So, just stressing the importance, if you're going through puberty right now, or you're even in your early 20s, you want to fix this now. You've got to get your period back. You have to take care of yourself in this regard. Here's some of the consequences. A lot of people think there's no consequences. Lots of people are just playing like Russian roulette with their bones and their body and just saying, well, I don't get my period, like whatever, like I don't want to have to gain weight, I don't want to have to fix my body, like I'll just deal with it. Well, here's the health consequences. Menstrual dysfunction may lead to infertility due to lack of ovarian follicular development, anovulation, or luteal phase defects. So, if you are a teenager now, or maybe you're even in your 20s, maybe you're not married, maybe you don't even have a boyfriend, you're not even like thinking about children, one day you're probably going to want children, okay? I'm just going to tell you, like, and regardless if you want it now or not, just err on the side of caution that one day you're going to fall madly in love with somebody and want kids. So menstrual dysfunction can lead to infertility problems. Alternatively, in some young women recovering from the triad, while menses are being restored, premature ovulation may occur and result in unexpected pregnancy in the absence of contraception. So if your period is all over the place and you don't know what you're doing, you can end up just getting pregnant and not even realizing it. There are also negative consequences associated with hypoestrogenism. Low levels of estrogen can cause endothelial dysfunction, resulting in cardiovascular disease. So this isn't just a bone thing, this is an estrogen thing, and an estrogen thing can end up being a heart thing. It's all connected. Your body is a multifaceted organism. It's not just a little machine. Like I talk about this all the time. Everything is connected. You want to fix this ASAP. Women with hypoestrogenism have elevated low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels. So if you notice that your cholesterol is very high, there you go. Women with the triad also have decreased immune function and impaired skeletal muscle oxidative metabolism. So if you notice that you're tired all the time, you're sick all the time, you get a cold all the time, like, there you go, you know, like, you are not healthy, regardless of what you're eating, how much you exercise, how much body fat you have, what you look like in a swimsuit, how much you can deadlift, like, that's all peripheral stuff. Are your hormones working correctly? Are you getting a period? How is your bone density? Are you getting enough energy? Are you getting enough rest? That's what it's all about. You do not want to go down this road. I help girls overcome this. If you are interested and you need help, you're scared, you went to the doctor, you don't have a period, you need some motivation, like you realize that your bones are hurting, you went and got a bone density scan, you have recurring stress fractures, or you don't have your period, whatever it is, email me, thisgirlaudrey@gmail.com. I will help you. We'll get this figured out. I've worked with hundreds of girls to get their periods back, and you can do this, you know, like, let me help you. This is not something you want to just keep pushing aside and thinking that, you know, one day it's just going to happen and you'll be fine. Like, no, you want to fix this. Email me, thisgirlaudrey@gmail.com. I'd love to help you guys out. Hope you have a great day.